go with Tetris after that because I just think it's so significant. But in any case, you know, Space Invaders, we talked about it. The reason why I want to put it there is because it creates video gaming as a cultural community and not just a leisure activity community. Well, I play video games and I play pool, or I read books, or I watch TV. Now, video gaming itself is its own cultural community, right? You can speak of it in a parlance that's only understood within the cultural community. You know, there's so many reasons why Space Invaders really takes that next step. But I will tell you, for my money too, one of the reasons why I include it here is because Pong doesn't have a great immersion factor the way that something like a Colossal Cave Adventure does, right? Colossal Cave Adventure is meant to reach out, grab you, pull you in. You're inside of this dark cave. You can go north, east, and west. It's hard not to kind of close your eyes and imagine yourself in a cave moving north, east, and west. Pong doesn't really do that. You know, a lot of those games don't really do that. But the first time I played Space Invaders, I was so concerned. I was so immersed. I was fighting with that joystick to fly that freaking spacecraft in just the right way to blow up all of those aliens. And it was genuinely scary if they were going to get down that far, especially when they started to speed up, because it gave you this frenetic sense of, they're coming. They're going to be here. And so I'm not saying I was like jumping the way I jumped the first time I played Unreal or Doom or whatever, but it had this kind of immersion factor I had never seen before. And that immersive experience is exactly the reason why video games, in my opinion, are so incredibly great, and why they should be included, and why we should even consider having a National Video Game Registry at all. And if video games are to break out of the stigma of the childish nature that we see in stupid pieces of crap like that KFC commercial, and if you don't know what I'm talking about or live outside the United States, go look it up. It's absolutely horrible. KFC video gaming, you'll see what I mean. If we're ever to break out of that stigma of people, including President Obama, for example, looking at gamers as being kind of the childish part of the culture, it's going to be by virtue of the best games that we can put out there. And all the ones that you guys put up here stand the test of time. I just think Space Invaders is the perfect example of how you can get thrown in. Yeah, it is a little bit of a juvenile concept, but it starts this community for which all of us now belong, and that's why we're all here, including me talking to you right now. So that's my pick. You can fight with me about it. That's fine. Start a forum topic. Just let me know you do so, and we can have more conversation after this. There's no reason that the Weekly Ringer conversation has to stop when the Weekly Ringer is over. We'll go right on to the next week, but that doesn't mean the conversation has to cease there. All right. Now, I was thinking a little bit about questions, and I came up with I added a lot of questions to the stable, guys. You know, if there's anything I can justify the hiatus for, even though I was incredibly busy, I added a lot of questions to the stable of questions that I've got. So I'm ready to just kick out a lot more questions. I even considered for a while making up for it by doing like a week where I did like 3 questions. I do a video on Monday, Wednesday, Friday just to make up for it. But instead of doing that, because I don't want to commit to it because it's a lot of work, what I want to do is this. I wanted to ask a question that was more focused on television, talking about TV and talking about how things have changed over time. And I'll tell you, when I was in college, in the early 2000s, and even past that, when I was in graduate school, so on and so forth, there was this great thing that came out of Cartoon Network called Adult Swim. And it was this cool concept. Cartoon Network, it's a kids channel, right? It's a kids channel. And maybe some of us might watch it for nostalgia purposes, to watch something like Toonami, where we watch the cartoons we grew up with, so on and so forth. But then they created this idea of Adult Swim. And Adult Swim is simply this kind of place where animators can get together and create a series of shows that would kind of be more adult themed, that would break from the pattern of the kiddie nature of a lot of the things that are on Cartoon Network normally. All right, so here's the question I want to ask you guys for next week. Has Adult Swim lost its mojo? You can interpret that in any way that you really want to, But I remember being really, really excited about the original lineup of Adult Swim. We'll talk about it during the course of the week, so you guys can go and look up all the different shows that have been a part of Adult Swim the entire time it's been in existence. But for now, what I want you to do is look at what's on there now. They're even revamping it, from what I understand. And I know Toonami is coming back as well, so there might be a little bit of overlap. But in any case, I want you to answer the question in as much as, do you think Adult Swim has the same mojo and cachet that it once did? Or is it a shell of its former self? Or is it better than it's ever been right now? Tell me what you think. Tell me if it hits the mark. Tell me what that mark is. And let's have a conversation around that. All right? So, interested, I know many of you wanted me to ask about Cartoon Network for a long time now, and I really haven't done anything on that. So I'm glad to be asking about Cartoon Network now, instead of Nickelodeon or the like, right? So, anyway, that's the question for next week. Again, sorry for the hiatus, guys, but I'm back and better than ever. Great to be back with you. As always, I am the Commodore from the Clan of the Grey Wolf, and there is no reset button.